kind of a reference. If, when putting it together, these will be the main features, but I might tweak her by pushing out here, or pushing out here a little bit more, or shifting the transom a little bit further, or changing the curve. Okay, I'm just going to relieve myself, but if you could take out the transom and the center thwart and just lay the two sheets flat. Now, I've put a reference line for the center, and always keep your reference line. What we will do is, once we get the mold in and the transom in, put her upside down or upright, I'm not sure which, and run a string right through and plumb down to make sure she's got no twist. But usually I find that if you can get these ends precisely lined up, it's a big start, because it acts like a hinge, and she just these are tied up first. So if you could take out those and let the two panels go flat, leave the stem aligned, and there's some little clips to hold it together. I'm just going to relieve myself, but to give you an idea of that straight edge. So we'll keep the two halves together. This represents, I think, 12 inches down. What we will do is put the bottom panel on first, and then rip the top panel to suit the height. But we want to get the bottom panel shaped, because it's got quite a bit of rocker in the air. But this is 2 inches to the foot scale. So we've got about got about 9 inches here. So we'll be coming up a little bit more, because the panels, I think, are 11, not quite 11 and a half with the white pine we have. So we might look at it with the full height of that extra 2.5 inches and see what it's like. But we don't want too much freeboard, because too much freeboard adds windage and makes the boat a real dog to row in any type of breeze. It's easier to snip the wires off, and we get more than to untwist them. But you can untwist them if you want. I've got pliers. And are you familiar with the scale rule?
Yes.
Okay.
I went over one briefly a few months ago.
Yeah. There's no direct 2 inch to the foot, so I have to half it. Obviously, 0 starts here, and 2 is here, so that represents 1 foot. This is half a foot, so 6 inches represents 3 inches. 3 inches represents 1.5 inches. So it's a little complicated, but what we'll do is measure it, check with B, and we'll all check it, and if we're convinced it's the right one, then we'll cut to that line.
Okay.
Rather than go astray.
Get a picture of this right before we take it apart.
Okay. Oh, we'll be putting it back together, but no harm catching her.
Okay.
If you want a different background, feel free to move her around for something more contrasting.
Okay. Put on that for now, see what happens. coming out fine, good.
Cool.
Just on the cutter.
We can probably do both. Cutting is gonna definitely be easier because even when you're on systems, getting them through is a good challenge.
I've got more wires, so don't fret cutting.
Okay.
Probably stick with cutting.
Trying to separate it any more than possible.
Sorry?
Trying to separate the two halves if you mess up the valve.
Okay.
I need to straighten it out. And bringing those two together, let's put one there. And one here. And, you know, sight down that edge. See if it's straight.
Mm-hmm. Straight.
Yep, she's straight.
You familiar with sighting for straightness?
Mm.
Don't?
Yeah, well, I mean, just looking down it to
Yeah.
see if
Yeah.
you use
Basically,
any of it.
learn to develop your eye. In terms of, if you see two lines, and this is a classic case, if you want to see if you can get through under the bridge, Longboard Bridge in the causeway, you've got the far side of the bridge and you've got the near side of the bridge. Both of them have undersides. If you approach in a boat and you stop beforehand, raise your height of eye up until the far side kisses the near side, then you've projected back. And if the bridge was built level and has remained level and not settled, your eye height will give you the height of clearance, provided there's no real water rushing in. Flats is a little different because you have a step of water rushing in and out. But with longboard bridge, so it's that idea. With a straight edge, you're looking at zillions of points along there, and they all should line up. When you're dealing with a curve, what you want to do is bend the batten around and clamp it, and you're looking for a fair curve. No humps or bumps in it. That is not a straight, well, it's parallel sided, but see the curves?
Yeah.
Okay. Now that can be possibly forced into giving a fair curve. You've got to basically be able to learn to develop looking for humps and bumps and how a batten would go. And the most pleasing curves are those which are not necessarily constant, but they change into a tighter curve. And it's those changing curves which are pleasing to the eye. But if you don't have a level, and you've got other buildings around, if you want to see if something's upright, you can take, say, the left-hand side of the opening. Take whatever you're trying to do and use your eye. Now this is a little bit more progressive, but what you do is you sweep along this edge and that edge in an arc, keeping your eye at one point, and you're lining that up to get it parallel. And it's the same with two sticks. If you want to see if a board has got a flat face, you can put sticks on the near side, well, like that, and like that. And then get back, get your eye level down, and sweep it, and have a look.
Oh yeah.
Tell me when she's going to line up.
Right there. Yep.
See that? Useful to know. And it's just sitting there. It's just, you know, the line of sight is spot on. It's a true line. And so far in this world, it's not been changed. But that's the guiding principle behind architecture. You know, building with chimney, smokestack, levels, and they do it more accurately with surveyors' things. But if you want to test the flatness of a board or a log before putting it in, these are called winding sticks, or what you call winding sticks. And it's a nice thing, but they only work if they're parallel to each other and preferably perpendicular to the piece you're testing. If they're not, if they're skewed, you can get a real false reading.